So, welcome, viewer, to today's episode. This is like attempt 12 at recording this because the setup was so hard to nail, but I think we've got it. I think it works now, so today...
This is like 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
Just a little late.
Just a little late. So, we were going to cover Halo Infinite in the first episode, and then Nintendo dropped that, Paper Mario trailer out of nowhere. And so, the Paper Mario video, analytically speaking, did worse than a lot of my stop motions. So, with that in mind, let's do it again. Today, we are going to be talking about Halo Infinite and what we think it needs to do to succeed, but explaining it with the evolution of Halo's sound design. So I know this probably doesn't make any sense at first, but allow me to explain. So first off, I have here a lot of different sounds from the different Halo games. So first things first, we'll look at the energy sword, alright? In terms of sound, I'm pretty sure there is an actual lore reason for all of this. I think there's something about an energy sword's blade actually being kept together through hydrogen gas or something. So with that in mind, it wouldn't sound like a regular laser sword. It sounds kind of like that, almost like a breath. You know what I'm saying?
Hissing almost.
Yeah.
Like gas being released from the container.
Exactly. The problem, though, is that, frankly, it sounds kind of dated, if you know what I mean. I mean, it sounds like what it is, a 2004 video game sound effect, However, if you take a look at the new energy sword sounds, the new ones sound like this. So, completely different right off the bat, right? I mean, it doesn't even sound remotely similar. And I'm not sure if, in terms of the actual lore behind it, I don't know if the design of the energy sword was changed or something, but it doesn't sound like a gas being released at all.
Sounds like a pew-pew laser thing.
Exactly, just a pew-pew laser thing. And so, on the bright side, there is a lot going on in this sound. You can hear all of the little sparks, you can hear the kind of the whirring, you can hear the ejecting of it. But at the same time, in putting all of those sounds together, they kind of just, not even kind of, they completely lost the Halo sound to it, So...
yeah, it's just... if it's supposed to be the same as before, it doesn't make sense.
Right. However, with me being the techno wizard hacker man that I am, I created something truly epic. Behold, with 2 seconds of sound design, I was able to do... So here you have Halo 5 energy sword, and then you have your classic energy sword. So I took one and slapped it on top of the other to create this. So
Way better. Way better.
So now you have the sound of the gas ejecting, but you still have, because you can see here, there's sparks and whatnot coming out. It's strange because it's almost as if these two sounds were literally made to go together,
Yeah,
because
it sounds...
the old one has the it has the Halo kind of mystical sound to it, and then the new one is super bassy but doesn't have any of the higher pitch. And so, I mean, it works. Honestly, this weapon was my first idea when thinking of recording this video, but I genuinely didn't think it would go together as well as it did. Because it blended.
If you played the sound that you made first, I wouldn't have known that it was a sound that you made.
Right.
Just
And
think
again,
it's the regular energy sword.
Again, literally all I didn't even adjust pitch or anything. I just layered the two over each other, and it worked perfectly. So, we are talking about sound design, and part of sound design is music. So, let's take a moment and talk about ODST, shall we? Seth, I know you said you didn't like ODST, but since you didn't like it, your opinion is invalid, so we're not going to be talking to you. Okay.
Yeah, Seth. You're bad and you should feel bad.
Real gamers, Halo good, okay, Seth? Halo good.
ODST bad.
You bad. Okay, so in all seriousness though, when you think ODST in terms of music, what is the first thing you think of?
Bad.
So, anywho, Seth, you've lost speaking privileges. Name it. When you think ODST soundtrack, what do you think?
Well, I think of like the sort of main theme music,
The smooth jazz.
the sort of jazz stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So, why is it? Oh, it started the whole
Just the reading.
playlist. Are you kidding me? Hold on.
Oh.
Aha. So see, what's interesting about this is that how do I turn? I'd like to turn rhythm down a little bit. There we go. So what's cool about ODST's soundtrack is that it's very jazzy, but at the same time, it still fits in Halo, you know? It still sounds like what a Halo song should. And I don't really know exactly how to describe it, so I mean, forgive me for kind of sucking at that part, but do you get my point? When you hear this, you still think Halo.
Like I still recognize that as like a Halo soundtrack.
Right. So it sounds unique enough that when you hear it, you're instantly like, that's ODST. That's not any of the other Halo games. But you hear it and you're still like, oh, that's still Halo, you know? And then, let's take, I don't know. Oh, that's a horrible misspelling, but that's okay.
I couldn't remember what the ODST music sounds like, and this actually sounds a lot better than I remember.
Yeah, it sounds mighty nice.
Seth, your opinion is wrong and you should feel wrong.
You are wrong, Seth.
They should have spent more time making the game and not the sound.
Now, let's listen to this little piece here from Halo 5. It starts slower than I remember.
Give it a sec, it's gonna start.
Yeah.
He just needs a second to warm up. He's a little shy. In 5, you know?
Once he gets to know you, he's really friendly. I promise. Okay, here it is. Yeah, here it is. I'm not trying to say this is bad, because this is not inherently bad, but this does not sound remotely Halo.
It's not bad, it just sounds like something you'd expect to hear in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Halo usually starts out like a little slower.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So you can see the obvious difference. Halo 5 sounds cool, but it doesn't sound like Halo. And it doesn't sound like the opening mission of Halo especially.
Yeah.
It's too much. And Halo, I was talking with one of my friends about this some time ago. I don't remember how long ago. But the old Halo games, the music was a lot more upbeat and chill. And the new Halo games, the music is a lot more intense.
It's just all in.
Yeah. So the difference there is that yes, that song is the opening of Halo 5, but then the entirety of Halo 5 feels like that. Sure, you've got a couple songs in there, like Rock and Ice, Blue Team. Those are good, and I really like them. In fact, I really like all of Halo 5, well, not all, but most of Halo 5's menu music I really like. You know, that fits in Halo, but the song I just played does not. It just sounds weird and wrong. So ultimately, the main point here is that a lot of people want Halo Infinite to play just like Halo 3 did. And it's okay to want that, and I will respect that opinion. But the problem is, people are forgetting that the first Halo game came out 20 years ago, you know? People are like, oh, it needs to play like the old ones. No, it doesn't, because the old ones began 2 decades ago. Things change in that time. The final example I'd like to make, and I know this isn't an example of sound design, but look at Super Mario Odyssey. If you look at Super Mario Odyssey and you compare that to Super Mario 64, you look at them and visually, you know, musically, and most importantly, in terms of gameplay, yes, Super Mario Odyssey has a lot of evolutions to the formula, but you look at the way Mario moves around, and just from a gameplay standpoint, you can say, yeah, I can see how this is an evolution of this, you know? I can see how this is what happened 20 years later within the same series. You look at Halo 5, and you look at Combat Evolved, and you're like, wow, these
aren't the same games.
Yeah, you wouldn't even assume that it's similar, you know? Because not only did Halo 5 not play the same, but it looks different, it sounds different, and it plays different. The 3 biggest parts of a game were all completely changed, so it basically just has no correlation to Halo anymore. Now, I'm not trying to hate on the way Halo 5 plays, because frankly, I enjoy the way Halo 5 plays, but it doesn't play like a Halo game should.
It tried to do too many gameplay changes at once. Like, I like a lot of the mobility options.
Yeah.
And like some of the team gameplay that it had in the game
Right.
stuff. It also, trying to do all of that at once and not having like any restrictions on how things are changed is kind of jarring if you go straight from playing like Halo 3 and 4 to Halo 5.
Right. The main point is, we all know Halo Infinite will not play like Halo 5 did, because 343 has made it very obvious that they're like, okay, you guys clearly didn't like this, so we're not going to give you something you don't like. I think Halo 3's combat system is already very good, but with some minor tweaks, like the addition of Sprint, you know? The problem with Halo 4 is that I think Halo 4, if you remove armor abilities and loadouts, then I think Halo 4's combat system was perfect. The environments just weren't made to suit it, because Halo is made for big open environments, which Halo 4 did not have. So you kind of felt crammed and condensed into the environment.
Crammed.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the main point here is that Halo Infinite should not play like Halo 3. But I feel like, it should play very similarly, but it should be an evolution of it. Like how Mario can still do his triple jump and whatnot, but now he can do all of the stuff with his hat. Master Chief should now be able to, throw his helmet at enemies and capture them. That's the main point. That's what I want to see in Halo Infinite. Master Chief turning into the aliens. That is the perfect gameplay. That's what it needs.